Hello everybody, welcome back to my math sessions that I've been doing for you over the last couple of days. Yesterday we did some addition and today we're going to be looking at some subtraction. For most of you again this will be a recap, so let's get cracking. Okay, now as you can see, like with the addition, I have laid out my calculations using tens and ones columns, making sure everything's lined up beautifully, making sure I include that subtraction sign. Now, normally if I was in school, I'd be saying use a ruler to draw your equal signs, but we have to let it go on this occasion. Miss Neuburger's been naughty as well. So, let's start off simply. And as I said to you with the addition, same with the subtraction, always start from the right. So, here we have got 7 take away 4, which gives us 3. Again, remember when we're in the tens column, it might look like 8 take away 3, but we need to make sure we're referring to our digits correctly. So 80 take away 30 is going to give us 50. So far, so easy. Okay, moving on. Now, you might notice that over here, we have got a little bit of a problem in that our digit here is smaller than our digit here. In this case, we can't do 8 take away 9. It's a bit of a problem. So what we need to do is something called exchanging. Now you may have heard this referred to as borrowing. That is not mathematically correct, I'm afraid. Shattering dreams all over the country here. So what you're actually doing is you need to go next door to your tens column and say, I'm really sorry, I need to actually take one of your tens. I have no intention of giving it back. I need to take it in order to make the ones column work. So what happens is that you take a 10 out of here. So if you're taking a 10 out of 70, you are left with 60 in your tens column. That 10 then becomes 10 ones. And instead of having 8 ones, you now have 18 ones. So we can now solve this ones column. 18 take away 9 is 9. 60 take away 20 is 40. Easy peasy. Now, you might want to pause me at this point and have a go at the 2 down here by yourself. If you do, that's great. Crack on. If you want to still go along with me while we do these 2, that is absolutely fine. That's what I'm here for. So, let's have a look. Again, you'll see there is a problem in the ones column and that we can't do 5 take away 9. So we go to our tens column and say, really sorry, I need to take your 10, or one of your tens. So if we take a 10 out of 60, we are left with 50. We then turn that 10 into 10 ones, and our 5 becomes 15. Then we can do 15 take away 9, testing Miss Neuburger's mental maths here, I believe that's 6. And then 50 take away 40 gives you 10. Moving on to over here, we have 94 take away 18. 4 take away 8 in this case is not an option. So once again, we go next door to our tens column and say, I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to take one of your tens, exchange one of your tens. So that comes out of here. We're taking a 10 out of 90, we are left with 80. That 10 scoots over here to our ones column, becoming 10 ones, or 4 ones becomes 14 ones. We can now do 14 take away 8, which is 6. 80 take away 10 gives us 70. I nearly wrote 90. Don't make the mistake of adding when you should be subtracting. Turning this lovely board around, we now have our 3-digit. And again, principle is exactly the same. So, looking up here, if we look at our ones column, 4 take away 5 presents a bit of a problem for this calculation. So, once again, we can go next door to our tens and say, I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to take one of your tens. So that becomes 60. That 10 comes over into our ones column, making that 4, 14. 14 take away 5 is 9. 60 take away 20 is 40. 800, remember, referring correctly to our numbers. 800 take away 300 is 500. no problem at all. Exactly the same over here. Again, you'll notice that the ones column is not possible for us to solve at the moment. So, once again, we go over to our tens column and say, I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to exchange one of those tens. So, off it comes, leaving us with 20 in our tens column. That 10 becomes 10 ones, making 16 ones in our ones column as opposed to 6. 16 take away 8 is 8. 20 take away 20 is 0. 500 take away 400 is 100. So far, no problem exchanging with our tens column. Where we get into a little bit of trouble, well, I don't think trouble, maybe just a bit trickier, well, let's have a look at these and see where some problems might arise. So, as you can see here, there is no problem with our ones column at all. We can do 4 take away 2, which will give us 2. Ooh, who can spot the problem? So here we have 30 take away 40. And even when you say it to yourself, you know that's not going to work for you. So, knowing what we know already, what do you think we need to do? We need to go to our hundreds column this time and say, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to take one of your hundreds. Exchanging, we're not giving it back, we're not borrowing it. So, that leaves 500 in our hundreds column. That 100 then comes into our tens column, becomes 10 tens, but for argument's sake here, it actually becomes 130. So that is now 130 take away 40, which is 90. Let's hope so. And then 500 take away 500 is 0. So, exactly the same principle when exchanging from the hundreds column as the tens column. Coming over here to our last one. Again, if you want to have a go at this by yourself and you don't need me, then by all means. If not, let's carry on. Last one. 9 take away 6. Not a problem as far as I can tell. So that gives us 3. 80 take away 90. Slight problem there. So, we can't do that in this case. So we're going to go across to our hundreds column, say I'm really sorry, I need to take 100. Not giving it back, just need to take it. So, if we take 100 out of our hundreds column, that's only going to leave them with 100. That becomes 10 tens and ends up in our tens column, making that 80, 180. 180 take away 90 is 90. 100 take away 100 gives us 0. And that's that. I know I've talked a lot about what happens when exchanging goes on. And if you need that broken down in more detail, I can certainly do a video on that where I show you what exactly is happening when we're moving tens into the ones column and when we're moving hundreds into the tens column. But it requires a lot of manipulatives and a lot of bits and pieces to show you that. It can be done. But for now, from a written method point of view, that is what you need to know. As always, any questions, put them in the comments below or any feedback, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.